A warm welcome to NTA Nationwide. I'm Elizabeth Stober. Thank you for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has restated his resolve to put in all his efforts towards ensuring the best for Nigeria and her citizens. This was while receiving on solidarity members of the Board of Trustees and Advisory Council of the Katsina Foundation led by Justice Mamman Nasir. State House correspondent Adam Sumbo reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari said a purposeful leadership and vigorous pursuit of public good is the only way to reciprocate the massive show of support to the governing APC by the nation's majority. The president described his vote-seeking enterprise in all the states of the federation as an eye-opener, saying the crowds that welcomed his campaign train were more than anyone can possibly induce. He said that clearly demonstrated people's appreciation of the efforts by his administration so far at national salvation, and this will not be taken for granted.
I assure you that I will do my best in the second term, and we will work for Nigeria and all our peoples.
President Buhari was, before his election, the chairman of the Katsina State Foundation for 17 years, during which a lot was done to support education, healthcare, and agriculture in the state, especially for the less privileged. The Galadima of Katsina, Justice Mamman Nasir, who spoke on behalf of the delegation, said the Katsina State Foundation is grateful to God and all Nigerians for giving President Buhari the opportunity to serve another term in office.
We thank Almighty God for what you have done to this nation by bringing you here to continue serving the people.
President Muhammadu Buhari also granted audience to the governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, who described his relationship with the president as very cordial, despite the outcome of the last elections in the state. Governor Okorocha said he was in the State House to invite the Nigerian leader for the inauguration of the various people-centered projects executed in the state.
I've completed the construction of a new cargo airport, terminal, warehouses, and cargo sheds. That needs to be commissioned. I've also completed a new police headquarters and also a new prison headquarters in Imo State. These are federal government projects built by Imo State government. And with other landmark projects like the Josoputa Court, the new Imo State High Court complex, which were built. So we have well over 1,000 projects verifiable to be commissioned. President Muhammadu Buhari is a great man. He's a man of wisdom, a visionary leader. And that's why you see some of us tagging along with him. He's a father to all. Be you a Muslim, be you a Christian, be you from the southeast or south side or southwest or north, President Buhari is our father. And everybody who loves him should project him in that light.
Mr. Okorocha of the APC, whose senatorial ticket is still a subject of controversy and litigation, is serving his last term in office as Imo State Governor. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja this evening for Dakar, Senegal, to attend the inauguration of Senegalese President Macky Sall, following his re-election for a second term. A statement by the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari, who is ECOWAS chairman, will be special guest of honor at the ceremonies, to be attended by other African leaders on Tuesday. President Buhari will be accompanied by Bauchi State Governor Mohammed Abubakar, Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, and Umaru Tanko Al-Makura of Nasarawa State. Others on the president's entourage include the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyema, National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongono, Director General, National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Ahmed Rufai, and other top government officials. The president is expected back in the country at the end of the inauguration ceremonies. Members-elect for the 9th National Assembly will have been challenged to consolidate on the achievements of the previous administrations towards meeting the hopes and aspirations of the countrymen who gave them the mandate through the power of the ballot. This was during a dinner organized by the National Assembly in collaboration with PLAC and UK National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that the dinner preceded induction workshop for the newly elected lawmakers.
The dinner was an opportunity for the Batch A returning members and the newly elected to interact and share ideas for a better working relationship of the 9th National Assembly, irrespective of party affiliations.
I therefore encourage new and returning members to take full advantage of this course as it will stand them in good stead as they embark on their legislative responsibilities.
And we're looking forward to the 9th National Assembly addressing the challenges that Nigerians expect of it.
Speaker Yakubu Dogara and the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, challenged the legislators-elect to the task of true democratic governance as a panacea for surmounting all socio-economic challenges being faced by the country.
The hallowed chambers of both the Senate and the House of Representatives calls for dedicated people with integrity, people with knowledge, people with capacity to deliver, and above all, people with courage.
Poverty does not know party. Hunger does not know party. Security does not know party. It affects all Nigerians, and from the day you are sworn in, you represent all Nigerians. And I feel that you work with the Nigerians that we all represent.
No doubt, the newly elected lawmakers have new grounds to explore, just as they have experiences gathered in their various fields over the years, which they will bring to bear on the nation's legislative process.
I hope to give better representation to the people of my constituency.
And essentially, I will focus on the area of good governance.
We hope to have to build a synergy between the National Assembly and also the executives.
We would like to pursue issues that will bring development and progress to the people of Nigeria. We would like to pursue issues of peace.
If they go through the books and listen to every course or every lecture in every section, it's going to make them find their feet very much on time.
The program has lineup of activities to get the new members well acquainted with procedures of the National Assembly. In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The quest for rapid development of Nigeria may remain a daunting task if the budgeting template of the 3 tiers of government is not improved. This was part of submission of guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria who discussed budget templates and priority spending of government. Murjano to Adam Said reports.
The primary role of government is to plan on how to carry out projects and activities that are aimed at improving the quality of lives of citizens in the country. While discussing the topic budget template and priority spending of government, guests on Good Morning Nigeria admitted that lack of proper planning to allocate resources is responsible for poor budget performance in Nigeria.
You cannot achieve it in the absence of a coherent and structured national development planning culture. Why? Because with a national planning or with a national development plan, it encapsulates literally every aspect and needs of the people at federal, state, and local government level.
Every country should have a national development plan, long-term, not ERGP 2 or 3 years. And then from that national development plan, you develop policies of how each sector, each problem will be dealt with.
They also lamented the disproportionate allocation of resources which favors a few bureaucrats while leaving the majority of the citizens without basic amenities.
It's in our best interests. Now, we just came through an election cycle. The government spent a lot of money for these elections. We spend a lot of time selling ourselves to our constituency, our constituents. Now we have been elected to represent them, to be their ears, their eyes. So if we do not take time to scrutinize that document and it goes out there, who will suffer? Nigerians will suffer.
We really have to have a holistic conversation. I completely agree with the issue of long-term development plans. If you look at China, for example, they're on their 16th development plan, and this shows in the way that they execute projects.
The guest also suggested that more attention should be shifted to the state and local government, as a lot of resources are devoted to them with minimum impact. In Abuja, Murjanatu Adam Said, NTA News.
In the meantime, ministries, departments and agencies are encouraged to defend their budgetary estimates on time in order to facilitate quick passage of the 2019 budget proposal. It was a remark by the Chairman, House Committee on Banking and Currency, Jones Chukwudi Onyeri, on the non-appearance of the Nigerian Export and Import Bank's management at the Defense Budget Session.
This pedestrian walkway in Area 3 section of Abuja has been taken over by commercial motorcyclists, also known as Okada operators. Their operation along this axis has deprived pedestrians of their right of way, posing great risk to them.
One bike man just came and nearly hit me. So one was even coming at my back. Even the sound scared me.
And they work of road safety or the VIO, those things to be installed them. But they will see them. They will refuse to install them. That is why you see these people continue.
Despite the ban on motorcycles and tricycles in Abuja's city center by the FCT administration, many commercial motorcyclists seem to be having a field day, as captured by a camera lens here at Area 3 in the heart of the city. The Area 1 section of Abuja is another muster point for commercial motorcycle operators. Asokoro, a highbrow district of Abuja, is not free from the persistent influx of commercial motorcyclists riding against traffic at breathtaking speed. Some FCT residents say the trend is not only embarrassing but risky.
They beat traffic. The rules and the regulations, they don't follow it.
In the process, many cars knock some down. It's becoming an eyesore. We have had cases where Okadas were used to snatch bags.
They should subject them to where they subjected them before. They should have regulators who can regulate them and know exactly what they are doing.
It would appear that enforcing the ban on motorcycles in the city center and restricting operators to the satellite towns of Abuja is a hard nut to crack for the FCT authorities.
They have been telling them not to supply within city centers. They still keep coming, so we don't know how they used to get more. And any day you go out, you must get new ones. So maybe we have some saboteurs somewhere else that is to sponsor them, to buy new one for them.
The records we have received on crashes involving motorcycles taking one way is not a good one for us.
Residents advocate result-oriented enforcement and urge the FCT authorities to provide more mass transit buses to ease the difficulties faced by commuters in the nation's capital. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
That was actually Mitaire Ikben on the influx of commercial motorcycles in Abuja metropolis. Now, the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onnoghen, has opened his defense in the alleged false declaration of assets at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The defendant called its first witness at today's hearing. We'll bring you the details in the course of the bulletin. Now we move on to Lagos, where Ruth is standing by with more reports. Ruth, it's over to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and welcome to Lagos. To enhance combat readiness, the Nigeria Army 81 Division has embarked on its Operation Planning Cadre in Lagos. Lean Leneke has details.
The Nigerian army has played a significant role in the fight against insurgency and other internal security operations in the 6 geopolitical zones. To further enhance capability and proficiency, the representative of the General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Olusegun Olatunde, stressed that the training is timely, considering the prevailing security challenges facing the country. He explained that the participants will be equipped with the necessary competence to successfully plan future operations while providing the necessary opportunity to promote synergy and cooperation with sister agencies. He charged participants to take advantage of the training and work in line with the Chief of Army Staff's vision to embrace a professionally responsive army in the discharge of its constitutional roles. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
The management of the National Inland Waterways Authority is set to enforce full compliance to safety regulations by boat operators to guarantee passengers' safety. This came to the fore following the arrest of 2 persons in connection to a recent incident where 12 students were conveyed from Takwa Bay without life jackets. Dr. Ogunyemi has the details.
Incidences of boat mishaps leading to loss of lives are preventable when operators do the right thing, in collaboration with efforts of regulators on ensuring safety on the waterways. This picture is therefore not only shocking but disheartening, as it captures a boat operator arrested on his way to Osborne for a school event conveying 12 students from the government secondary school, Takwa Bay, all of them without life jackets, contravening standard operating procedures.
Quite more than 2 months ago, and look at what they are doing. Taking such young, precious lives on a boat without life jackets. What can be more criminal than this?
Balogun Oriyomi and his boat driver will be charged to court after investigations, while their boat has been impounded as new authorities sounded a note of warning to other boat operators.
Go back now and make sure that you do the right thing. You know what to do. If any passenger refuses to wear a life jacket at the point where he is supposed to wear the life jacket, give him back his money, please.
National Inland Waterways Authority is hopeful that the incident will serve as deterrent to errant boat operators who do not comply to safety standards, while patrols will be reinvigorated to ensure compliance. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
13 teams of young Nigerians are currently brainstorming in Lagos to come up with the best possible prototype to increase HIV screening uptake among youth in Nigeria. The event, tagged for Youth by Youth Designation, is an initiative of the Nigeria Institute of Medical Research in collaboration with St. Louis University of North Carolina. Joy Ken Abakpoya has details.
The National AIDS Indicator and Impact Survey puts the prevalence rate of HIV for the population of between 15 and 64 years in Nigeria at 1.5 million. This is an improvement from the staggering HIV figures of the past. However, Nigerian youths between the ages of 14 and 24 are still at the center of an expanding HIV crisis, with the second largest number of new youth HIV infections in the world. These medical experts say it's because majority of adolescents who engage in risky sexual behavior have limited access to confidential testing and counseling, as well as timely diagnosis and treatment.
Right now, many of our services are focused on adults. They're really serving adults and not thinking about the young people.
These young Nigerians under the For Youth by Youth Designathon have therefore been given 48 hours to develop a self-testing method that will help Nigerians, especially youth, know their HIV status in the comfort of their homes.
We, the researchers or the experts, don't want to tell youth to go test, but we want youth to come up with ideas that they think are innovative, that are low cost, that will be appealing to their other fellow youths to ultimately make them self-test.
What it means is that in your confines of your home, you can do HIV testing yourself.
It is expected that at the end of this event, the prototype formulated by these youths would reduce the statistics of persons living with the virus in Nigeria.
In Lagos, Joy Kan Abakpuya, NTA News.
This is News Nationwide. Time for a quick break. The news continues shortly. Stay with us.
A new edition of TV Guide is out with special focus on the role of the media in election coverage. Exclusive on the National Broadcasting Commission, its mandate as the sole regulator of Nigerian media. Dr. Toba Daba then and Ishak Modibo now. This edition also features the king of stand-up comedy in Nigeria, Ali Baba. NTA standards to be ready for election transmission after decades of abandonment. Find out from the DG transactional elections in our political space. An evil wind that blows no good. DG, National Orientation Agency caution. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, x-rays the impact of social media on electioneering process as electorates present their expectations from incoming government. Meet some TV professionals behind the screen and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thank you for staying with us on NTA Nationwide. Now, the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen, has opened his defense in the alleged false declaration of assets at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The defendant called its first witness at today's sitting. Dele Atumbi reports.
The lead counsel to Justice Onogen, Adegboyega Omolo SAN, called the first defense witness, Olariwaju Busari, who told the tribunal about the collection and submission of the asset declaration forms of himself and that of the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria in 2010. Olariwaju Busari, who is a staff of the Supreme Court, is the driver attached to the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onogen, since 1999 as a justice on the bench of the Court of Appeal. The defense counsel tendered in evidence the receipts of the payment for the asset declaration form, which the prosecution counsel Ali Umar SAN objected to on the ground that the receipt lacked revenue number, which made it inadmissible as the authenticity of the receipt was in doubt. Relying on relevant case laws and the Evidence Act, defense counsel Awomolo SAN countered the argument of the prosecution counsel on admissibility of a document in evidence. Awomolo SAN pointed the attention of the tribunal to 3 grounds on the admissibility of a document. They are its relevance to the fact in issue, originality of the document, and no vitiation of same by any law. The tribunal subsequently admitted the receipt in evidence. The tribunal also subpoenaed Teresa Nwafo, a director in the Code of Conduct Bureau, to give evidence following the application of the defense counsel. The tribunal adjourned till Wednesday, 3rd April 2019 for further hearing. While the prosecution counsel spoke to newsmen, counsel to Justice Onogen declined comments, but gave out a prepared text indicating that the defense counsel may have closed its defense even when the second defense witness is yet to give its evidence.
I cross-examine the witness. Like I said, I will do so to the best of my ability. I'm happy that this case is now going on. He has opened his defense and we are going on.
Justice Walter Onogen standing trial on 6-count charge on false declaration of assets. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, ministries, departments and agencies are encouraged to defend their budgetary estimates on time in order to facilitate quick passage of the 2019 budget proposal. It was a remark by the Chairman, House Committee on Banking and Currency, Jones Chukwudi Onyeri, on non-appearance of the Nigerian Export-Import Bank's management at the budget defense session.
Of the management of the bank without any official communication to the Secretariat or SQs forced the committee members to ask questions on why and the way forward. Committee Chairman Jones Chukwudi Onyeri decried the situation, noting that members assembled for one of their key legislative functions.
Obviously, becomes a major issue for us because there's nothing for us to work on. As we speak, we don't have the budget of NEXIM before us. We thought they would have sent this budget days before now, or at best, bring it at this budget defense hearing.
The committee, however, resolved to set another date for the management of the bank to appear for the exercise, failure of which might attract legislative action. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
A bit on health now. Choosing the right diet and embracing plant-based foods, nutritionists say, will assist in fighting cancer, as most cancer types could be prevented through regular intake of fruits and vegetables. In this report, Elizabeth Omori examines the role of vitamin B17 plant foods in the treatment of cancer.
As the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. In the gains coming good health, long life, and better still saving costs. Ironically, most life-threatening diseases like cancer are caused by deliberate habits we engage in. Smoking, for instance, excessive intake of fat and salt in our foods, alcohol, and worse still, sedentary lifestyle. Basically, cancer is uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells with potential to spread to other parts of the body. There's a legion of them: colon, breast, prostate, lungs, cervical and skin cancers. Medical doctors encourage these must-have habits: regular medical checks, healthy diet and exercise. Cancer is also attracting attention from global platforms like the Haves and Have Not initiative. They set out to create awareness on how to prevent cancer with nutrition, specifically vitamin B17, found in fruits such as sorghum, almonds, blueberry, sprouts, beans, and millet.
The patients that are diagnosed of cancer just need to take in more of these vitamins that they lack.
The intake of vitamin B17 will help reduce cancer, fight cancer. It has now been concentrated in Mexico, and we hope with time the expense will go down.
Ehi Blackie, a breast cancer stage 4 survivor, shares her tips on staying alive.
I always took water, first thing in the morning, lots of water, after which I take fruits.
Nutritionists suggest you choose a diet rich in plant-based foods, sleep well, and select foods low in fat and salt. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Nationwide. Time to join Abubakar in Maiduguri for more reports. Abubakar, it's over to you.
Elizabeth, and a warm welcome to Maiduguri. Independent National Electoral Commission has presented certificates of return to Borno State Governor-elect and all elected members of the State Assembly. The event, which took place at the multipurpose hall of Sir Kashim Ibrahim College of Education, Maiduguri, had Governor Kashim Shettima and his deputy Usman Mamman Durkwa among dignitaries and party stakeholders who accompanied the certificates recipients. Mohammed Goni reports.
The certificate of return was presented to Borno State Governor-elect Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, followed by his deputy, Umar Usman Kadafuru. The 28 elected members of the State Assembly also took turns to receive their certificate of returns in alphabetical order. National Commissioner in charge of Borno, Adamawa and Taraba, ABM Ahmed Tijani Moazu, had on behalf of INEC congratulated the Governor-elect, his deputy and the State Assembly members-elect, and urged them to fulfill their campaign promises for the development of Borno and the nation as a whole. The National Commissioner also appreciated INEC officials, security operatives, and other stakeholders in the system, which he said led to a successful election in the state. Governor-elect Professor Babagana Umar Zulum expressed gratitude to the Lord Almighty for the victory and appreciated Governor Kashim Shettima, the state party leadership, and other party stalwarts for their commitment, which led to victory at the polls. Professor Babagana Umar Zulum also called on party officials to be united more than ever before for the development of the state, and further stressed commitment to complete all reconstruction, rehabilitation, and resettlement projects with a view to returning IDPs to their home communities. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Borno State government has officially launched harvested tomatoes cultivated on its 5.3 hectares farmland for its tomato processing industry and school feeding system program across the state. The ceremony was performed by the state deputy governor Usman Mamandurkwa. Jesse Tafida now reports.
The tomatoes farm was purposely established alongside tomato processing industry as part of the Borno State Government Industrial Hub established to address unemployment challenges among youth as well as add value to agricultural products. Borno State Deputy Governor Usman Mamandurkwa, while launching the tomatoes harvest, said the farm has the capacity of producing 120 tons of tomatoes per production and can engage about 50,000 workers, requiring at least 10,000 tomato farmers to feed the industry. Usman Mamandurkwa noted that Borno State Government has trained about 50 people in India on tomato drift irrigation farming and will continue to train more people to move to the next level of tomato growing state in the country. The chairman, Borno State Agricultural Transformation Committee, Engineer Ibrahim Ali, said the 5.3 hectares of tomato farmland is expected to produce at least 1,500 tons of tomatoes continuously for at least 9 months in different varieties. About 55 baskets of the harvested tomatoes have been distributed to all boarding schools across the state during the launching. In Maiduguri, Jesse Tafida, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has revived its annual social activities in Borno State to celebrate the restoration of lasting peace and successes recorded against insurgents in the northeastern part of the country. The event attracted top Borno State government officials, members of the diplomatic corps and civil societies, hosted by the Theatre Command Operation Lafia Dole at the Memulari Cantonment, Maiduguri. Mohammed Ibrahim completes the report.
Nigeria Army Social Activities, NASA, also known as West African Social Activities, WASA, is an annual event held at the end of the year which dates back to the Second World War, involves officers, soldiers, and their families coming together to relax, socialize, and usher in the new year with hope, zeal, and commitment. Ondo State Governor Kashim Shettima, represented by his deputy, Usman Mamandurkwa, observed that the effort of the Army to procure equipment, train, and improve the capacity of its personnel, amongst others, yielded positive results in the war against insurgencies and other violent crimes in the country. Theatre Commander Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Benson Akirolio, said the Army Chief Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai directed the event to hold to celebrate exploits against the Boko Haram insurgency and called for more collaboration to end security challenges.
It is pertinent to know that our recent exploits and successes in the counter-insurgency operations would not have been possible for the invaluable fatherly support of the Chief of Army Staff.
The host, General Officer commanding 7th Division Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Abdul Malik Bulamabiu, noted that successful counter-insurgency operations have led to reopening of hitherto closed roads and restoration of socio-economic activities in the affected areas. The event afforded participants to display the rich cultural heritage through displays, performances, drama, as well as competitions. It was rounded off with presentation of souvenirs and gifts as a way of promoting unity and solidarity between the military and wider society. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on the Nigerian Television Authority. Time now to take a break to bring you more reports in just a moment. Do stay with us.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first, get it fresh.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, has disaccredited 14 private computer-based test centers out of the 712 accredited from conducting the UTME examinations. JAM Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede said this while monitoring the conduct of the mock examination at some centers here in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports.
157,331 candidates registered nationwide for the mock examination aimed at preparing candidates for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. While monitoring the conduct of the mock examination at some centers in Abuja, Professor Ishaq Oloyede said 14 private CBT centers were disaccredited due to infractions ranging from collection of more than the stipulated 700 naira for the mock examination by private CBT centers, link tests that showed that the centers do not have the capacity to conduct UTME, and the fact that some centers conducted mock examination without JAM authorization.
This morning, for one infraction or the other, technical and some deceit, whereby some of them will go and borrow some computers and thinking that they will not know. So now we have about 698 centers left in the operation, but we have redistributed the students.
Impressed with the conduct of the UTME mock examination, Minister of Education Adamu Adamu says it will no longer be business as usual for centers that indulge in these illegalities.
Well, they should stop and they should adhere to whatever guidelines is given by the registrar. Otherwise, the same fate will befall them.
Some candidates who participated in the mock examination say the exercise has afforded them the opportunity to cover other areas of their chosen subjects.
That's for government and CRS. I really need to put more effort inside because I saw different questions. I've not even fixed my head on the topic at all.
Part of chemistry was simple. Then physics was hard. Actually it was hard because I was not able to cover enough spaces in physics. But one thing I realized about JAM, if you have to pass JAM, you have to read line by lines.
It will be recalled that during the JAM stakeholders meeting last month, the board said candidates without biometric verifications will be delisted from sitting for the examination. And to ascertain the authenticity of each candidate, they were made to thumbprint before and after taking the examination. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi has advised the Yoruba socio-political group Afenifere to adopt practical intellectual strategies to achieve regional integration. He gave the advice at a meeting of the regional organization. Kola Adebobui has details.
The 2019 national retreat
of the Afenifere Renewal Group is a cultural organization which brought together members from different states in southwest Nigeria, Kwara, and Kogi states. It was an avenue to discuss issues of interest to Yoruba race and as well allied challenges with a view to providing practicable solutions that could engender anticipated development.
We saw that right away as a way out. Collaborative development partners that should link all our states together.
Governor Kaudi Fayemi, who believed that it is high time to put together intellectual and financial resources to promote regional integration, noted that the struggle for national development through restructuring to strengthening the social capital base of the land must be promoted.
Character is central to everything we do, and character drives development, it drives integrity, it drives expertise.
The program with the theme Sustaining Yorubaness in the Nigeria setting featured presentations by different scholars that could entrench development of Yoruba race in Ado-Ekiti. Kola Adebabuyi, NT News.
Election Petitions Tribunal sits in Benin, and Obehi has details of this and more from our Benin Network Center. It's over to you, Obehi.
Very much for joining us in Benin. Edo State government has closed down Ihogbe College and Oba Kenzua, the second secondary school in Benin, indefinitely. This follows recurring court clashes in the schools, with the latest lingering for 2 weeks now. The state acting governor, Philip Shaibu, who gave the order this Monday, says the administration will not condone acts that will mar its efforts in repositioning the education sector. Jude Aweke reports.
Court clashes have become a lingering challenge in Edo State. The most recent incident was when students of Ihogbe and Oba Kenzua schools were involved in a clash which attracted hoodlums and left one student hospitalized.
My name is Emeka Chizowa. I attend Oba Kenzua Senior Secondary School. I'm in SS2. I'm the third born of my mom.
That incident, which occurred among these teenagers, attracted attention of the state government. This visit by the acting governor as early as 7 o'clock Monday morning is to finally bring solutions to the problem. A committee made up of religious leaders and academics to look into the clash has also been set up.
Their rivalry is getting out of hand, and we need to deal with that rivalry. We are closing the two schools from today. Only SS3 and JSS3 will be coming to school. During this period that is closed, this committee will meet with you and parents for us to work together and prepare for when we reopen it.
Members of the committee are to reorient the students in a period of 1 year and inculcate in them moral values. In Benin, Jude Aweke, NTA News.
And from education to health, about 300 primary health care centers across the 18 local government areas of Ondo State have benefited from the medical equipment worth millions of naira, courtesy of the state government. Doris Olumoko reports that the gesture is aimed at improving the diagnostic and therapeutic capacities of the primary health care facilities in the state.
The equipment distributed include 300 units of children ambu bag, 60 units of adults ambu bag, 300 units of baby weighing scale, 300 units of blood pressure apparatus, stethoscope, shock garments, among others. This is in fulfillment of the federal government's policy on minimum service package MSP pillar of the primary health care under one roof.
We are determined to guarantee good health and life for the populace, especially under 5 children, pregnant mothers, and the vulnerables. We are here on a continuation of a rescue mission which we started about a year ago.
The last distribution exercise of this nature took place in August 2018.
within less than a year, another round of distribution of medical equipment to primary health care is taking place.
Government has given assurance that more of such facilities are on the pipeline until the primary healthcare system in Ondo State becomes a reference point in qualitative maternal, neonatal, and child services in Nigeria. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
The Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Benin is set to entertain petitions from aggrieved candidates in the just concluded general elections. Ifoma Okafo reports.
This is Election Petition Tribunal Court here in Edo State High Court in Benin. And this court is now open for election tribunals, and this is where aggrieved persons that are not comfortable with the outcome of the just concluded elections results in Edo State are going to find redress. According to information gathered, collation of the petitions from the election petitioners are on at the tribunal. Some of the petitions filed before the tribunal include petition between Inegbedion Osage of All Progressives Congress, APC, against Clifford Odia of the PDP and INEC. Others include petition between Omosede Igbenedion and the PDP as first and second petitioners against INEC, Dennis Idahosa and the APC as first, second, and third respondents. Also before the tribunal is petition between Johnson Agbaima of APC, Jude Itse Idehen of PDP and INEC, Idaike Ahemen of APC are petitioners against Joe Edionwele of the PDP and INEC. The tribunal has 180 days to adjudicate on all election matters brought before it. Ifoma Okafo, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. It's over to you, Elizabeth, for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Obey. A strategic partnership between the Nigerian Air Force and the government of Nasarawa State, which will bring security closer to the people, is in the pipeline. Correspondent Najatu Tijani has details.
Adding value to the various communities in which the Nigerian Air Force response units are situated in is part of the bigger picture here, as these two heads meet to form a strategic partnership which will yield epic results. They are charting a new course in peacekeeping operations in Nasarawa State.
Meanwhile,
and
we have already allocated a piece of land beside the airport of a total of about 100 hectares. And should you require more land, Nasarawa State is ready to give you up to 100 or 200 hectares more without paying any dime, as the state has already paid the compensation for the land we are allocating to the Air Force.
With up to 300 hectares of land being made available by the Nasarawa State government for Nigerian Air Force missions, it promises to be a game changer in the protection and deployment of critical air assets.
And I also want to thank you for the initiative of establishing a cargo airport which is at 80% completion. This is very exciting to us. With that runway of about 2.5 kilometers or thereabouts, it can serve as a good alternative for our aircraft.
It will not only bring security closer to the people in line with global standards, but will ensure greater effectiveness in combating insecurity. Najatu Tijani, NTA News.
An global focus on preservation of heritage sites and forests, even during conflicts, is serving as a catalyst for the Nigerian Army to take action regarding security challenges associated with such areas. To this end, more than 1,000 personnel are learning new strategies on regimentation and combatant security challenges associated with forestry and protected areas in Nigeria. According to the Department of Army Standards and Evaluation, which is organizing the 5-day seminar, effects of armed conflict on these areas have far-reaching climatic effects which must be addressed not only for conservation, but for a stable and thriving ecosystem. The frequent cases of oil spills with the attendant negative effects on underground water and the environment must be properly checked and curtailed. Director General of the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, Musa Idris Olubola, gave the assurance on his first day in office.
Or closer with the oil companies these days to ensure that their various oil spill contingency plans are put in place to ensure their readiness. The plan is all about getting ready, putting the prepositioning oil response tools. You have to preposition some of these things in areas that are vulnerable and susceptible to oil spills.
Nigeria is to further strengthen her ties with India in the area of science, technology and innovation. Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, said this when he received the new High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, Mr. Abhay Thakur. Justin Bemui reports.
As Nigeria looks forward to work with India, the minister appreciated the capacity-building relationship Nigeria has been enjoying and hopes to further build up that in the area of biotechnology, agriculture and space research development. Dr. Onu congratulated India for its recent anti-satellite missile test, which shows the nation's prowess in space science technology.
You mentioned biotechnology. You also mentioned the peaceful use of atomic energy and so on. We are very determined as a nation to be in a position to feed ourselves. That is a major priority for Nigeria, and then to be in a position to develop technologies within the country that can help us to produce many of the things that we now import from outside.
Digital currency or digital money.
The minister also received kids from the Excellent Neighborhood Children's Parliament, who were on a visit to encourage him on his efforts to ensure Nigeria uses science and technology to facilitate socio-economic development.
Today, almost all the things we need as a nation, we import from outside, and we're saying no to that, that we have very brilliant people like you who should be able to help us to convert the enormous natural resources available in the country into products and services. So that is the Nigeria we want you to inherit. We also want you to inherit a Nigeria that's extreme poverty. Extreme poverty will be fought and defeated.
The Excellent Neighborhood Children's Parliament is a network of children from about 50 government and private schools in Abuja with the aim of inculcating leadership and citizenship values so as to enable them become good and informed global citizens. In Abuja, Justin Bemui, NTA News.
Talking sports now, Nigeria Basketball Federation plans towards a successful outing at the FIBA World Cup as David Dawirie emerged champion of the 18th edition of the Junior Tennis Masters in Lagos. Olumide Eguntola tells us more on Sports Update.